Hey everybody, it's Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. And what I want to talk to you about today is the Off-Grid Project. I asked a friend of mine, what is the Off-Grid Project? And he looked at me and said, and gave me an idea. I think I have to do a video explaining what is the Off-Grid Project. So I also saw some comments, people talking about what is the Off-Grid Project, and it gave me an idea to make this video. So, we've been doing this for going on 6 years, me and you, all you guys out there, and well, it's still ongoing. And one thing is, the person in the comments who mentioned this said, well, is it ever going to finish? Well, if I ever finished all my projects, then this channel would end, and that would be it, and that would not be fun anymore, and then I would have no more videos. So the Off-Grid Project, and this is what I write on all my websites and introductions, the Off-Grid Project is a series of projects and experiments in off-grid living, to put it simply, and survival, self-sufficiency, and alternate energies. And that's the summary of it right there. And the keywords are, it is a series of projects and experiments. So it has become a bit of my daily life. The do-it-yourself world was about my daily life. And that started, I think, 2007. I have to look back to when I uploaded my first video ever. 2007, I think I joined YouTube or something like that. Or no, before that. 2007, 2010. I joined YouTube in Germany, so it was before that. Well, anyway, I think 2010 I did my very first video. And that was for the do-it-yourself world. Well, anyway, the do-it-yourself world was experiments and alternate energy and electronics, and it was my thing. I ended up going into the camper and going full-time off the grid and full-time on YouTube. And then I had, at that time, had the idea of starting the Off-Grid Project. And I started the website, and the idea with the Off-Grid Project was to see if I could take a camper off the grid and become self-sufficient. Well, then it became my daily life. And so I combined the do-it-yourself world and the Off-Grid Project, and now you see what we have today. So it's going to be ongoing. There'll never be an end to it, and anybody who's off the grid will agree it's a constantly expanding, growing, changing thing. Your solar panels, you're always going to be upgrading, you're always going to be improving your system, you're always going to be experimenting and changing. I'm always going to need firewood. I'm always going to be experimenting with different wood stoves and different ideas for heating and cooking. Got a lot of projects. I have a spiral-bound notebook with pages and pages and pages of projects and ideas still to come. So it's never going to run out. And that is the key answer to one of the questions that was asked is, no, it's never going to end. There will be ongoing. I have so many years of projects left. And the Off-Grid Project has morphed a little bit into self-sufficiency, off-grid living, and homesteading. And everything that relates to that. So what you see here, working with solar panels, working with wood-burning cook stove, plans to have solar water heating, a passive solar water heater, solar powered greenhouse heat, passive solar heating for the greenhouse, ways to provide food for our family, self-sufficiency. Also, the self-sufficiency aspect, people are asking me about that. You cannot be, unless you go primitive and you go native, you cannot be truly self-sufficient in our modern culture. You have to still work to pay your taxes, or you're going to lose it all. They'll take it away. So we aren't really even allowed, unless you are a Native American or have a certain religious background that is accepted by the government to be tax exempt, you are not going to be able to break away from the grid entirely, as you call it, or from the system. You always will have to earn money to pay the man. You don't pay the man, he takes what you have away, and then you're homeless. In this modern day and age, you can't be 100% self-sufficient because you will lose everything and become homeless. That is how it is. It's just a fact. So we have to work. There's going to be a way. We just have to earn money. We have to pay for some supplies and materials, and even the pioneers had to go in occasionally for groceries. And funny thing is, somebody say, you're not off the grid, you buy groceries. Well, then the pioneers pre-electricity, pre-grid era were not off the grid because they bought groceries occasionally. That doesn't work out very well, does it? So off the grid means not connected to the electric power grid, period. That's it. Not connected to the electric grid, or not using it in our case. No more, no less. Anything else is bonus. So self-sufficiency is something I was asked about. What is self-sufficiency in my mind? It's not separation from the government and taxes and modern society, because it's just not it's not possible, as we just covered. The idea is to provide as much as we can of our own needs. So hunting, fishing, growing our own food, foraging. We do a lot of stuff off camera. There's no way I could show you everything that we do in a day. We go foraging all the time and harvesting wild edibles. We're processing apples in the house right now that we picked up for free. There's just so much that we do in a day that we can't show you. But we are foraging a lot, and we go fishing a lot more than we show you. And actually, I've hunted a lot more than I've shown you on camera. But part of becoming self-sufficient is providing your own needs as much as you can. We're still going to need groceries to some extent, but my goal is to be able to provide our own chicken food 100% one day. It's a future goal, far future. But I'm experimenting with various plants and foods and grains that I can feed our chickens, finding out what grows best here and what works. Experimenting with the garden here and the environment. We just moved here 15 months ago. So we moved to a sandbox, and we're modifying the environment to fit our needs. That's going to take time. Having a successful garden is going to take years in this harsh environment we live in to learn what works. And eventually I want to work with alternate fuels. Yes, fuel. People say, well, you still drive a car, you're not off the grid. Well, again, we still have to work to pay the man, or the man takes it all from us. So that's not, we can't get around that. And we still are forced by law to have insurance on the car, or you're going to be in jail, and there's no way around that. We still have to pay for our car driver's license. We still have to pay these things in modern society that you can't get away from, unless you have a certain religion or whatever that the government exempts from it. So the thing, though, is we can try to provide as much of our own things as we can on our own, using the resources from our own land. Firewood, right from our own land, right here. I've noticed that some people said, well, those aren't fresh cuts. Well, yeah, this was a log that was cut at one point, but then it was cut into smaller logs here. So yeah, you can see that. I'm sure anybody with a clear mind can see that that was an older cut, but that's a newer cut. Sometimes we cut something and then come back to it later and log it out. So anyway, firewood off our own land, providing resources from our own land to heat our house. Eventually, this here is going to power our engines. That's a goal I have. Wood gas. That's a future goal I do have, is to provide wood gas to run a small engine and maybe even motor vehicles. I'm also experimenting with alternate energy in my electronics lab. I have ideas and goals to have machines that can run on resources that I provide myself. So once we get established in our homestead here and things settle down on building up the greenhouses and the gardens and working and experimenting, then we'll get on to alternate energies. So there's a lot coming in the future. And I don't foresee a time where it'll end in the near future. Even if YouTube goes away, we will still be doing these things for years and years and years to come. So, nope, I don't see an end to it. I hope that explains what the Off-Grid Project is and gives you a better understanding. A series of projects and experiments in off-grid living and self-sufficiency, to put it simply. Thanks for watching, guys. Please do like, subscribe, and share, and follow our daily videos as we strive to become fully off the grid and self-sufficient on a budget. Talk to you later.